making a lot of noise, but we're gonna still keep our camera on. So with that, welcome to ABC Yoga. Let's hear our jingle. Welcome to ABC Yoga. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy. There's Elvis in the background, and of course, we may see an occasional cat or a multi-poo, which is so exciting. So let's come to a seated position this morning. We love animals more than people.
Not most people.
We'll find a comfortable seated position. You can always use a brick to elevate those hips a little. Find your sweet spot with those sits bones rooted, a beautiful tall spine. Open up those collarbones, let the shoulder blades slide down the back. There's our grandfather clock. Allowing your hands to rest gently on top of your thighs. Close or soften your eyelids. Together, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it sigh out. Ah. 2 more. We breathe in. We breathe out. Let's take 1 more inhale. Exhale the breath completely as we seal our lips. Just staying here in silence for a few moments as we open up our senses with awareness. Taking in the sounds around us. Noticing the temperature on the skin. Taste inside the mouth. Feeling the sensation of the breath, the air at the nostrils with each inhalation and exhalation. And with our eyes closed, we take in that internal vision, noticing that inner landscape. Let's take 1 more breath in. Just let it go. Keeping those eyes soft or closed, inviting your prayer at your heart center, maybe bowing your forehead to the tips of your fingers as we set an intention for our practice. We're just acknowledging this time that we've carved out for ourselves to just open up the body, to connect with the breath. Gently flutter those eyelids open. And just take your hands outside of you, coming onto those finger pads. Again, finding that groundedness from your sits bones, everything connected to the mat. We'll inhale that left hand up and over. Take a slight bend in that right elbow as we open up the side body. And we'll change sides. Right arm up and over, left elbow bends. Sits bones root. Again, left arm up and over. Other side, right arm up and over, left elbow bends. And coming back, finding that groundedness, let's twist to the right. We lift our heart and twist over that right shoulder. 1 more breath in as we twist. And coming to the other side, the right hand can come on the left knee. We lift and we twist. Big breath in through the nose, exhale, twist, exhale through the nose. Let's come back to center. We'll interlace our hands and just finding some wrist openers here. Maybe exaggerating this movement here. Unhinge that jaw. Can find some bigger circles. And let's maybe change direction. And just shake out that extra energy as we transition onto our hands and knees. Fingers spread wide directly underneath our shoulders, knees are under our hips as we just take our hips side to side. And we'll tap some energy in the tops of our feet. And just turn your fingers so they face your knees. One more wrist opener. So take your time. If this is too much tension, you walk your fingers a little closer towards your knees. Relax your shoulders. Feel those toenails. And we'll just turn the tops of our hands, or actually the backs of our hands down. Spread your fingers wide, just one at a time. Feel the fingernails. And we'll release. We'll squeeze those knees together. We'll extend the left toes to the floor. Find that stability, that right shin roots. We just lift that left heel. We extend the right arm, thumb up towards the sky. Find that balance. Level off those hips. For 3, for 2, on 1, we'll come to the other side. So start with the right toes connecting to the mat. Lift the heel, then take that left arm, extend it, left thumb up towards the sky. Can you straighten through that right arm? Staying on this side, we'll invite the knee and elbow to the center, then we extend. 3 more. Move with your breath. We lengthen. Last 3. And 2. Beautiful. On this one, have them connect. For 3, 2, 1. We extend. Lower. Take that right knee to the earth. And we'll come to the other side. So left leg extends. Right arm up in level with your ears, so lift up that heel, then bringing that elbow in towards your knee, and we lengthen. 4 more. Move with your breath, round the back body. We extend. Last 3. Move with that breath for 2. Beautiful. Elbow and knee connect here. 4, 3, 2, 1. We lengthen. Lower, and just move those hips side to side. You can take the toes off the side, opening up that side body. 1 more time. We come back to neutral, toes tuck under. Lift those sits bones. Shake out that head as we pedal out the feet, warming up the calves. Our toes are spread wide. And we'll walk those hands back to the toes. Deeper bend in those knees. Just allow yourself to lengthen. Let go. Reach for opposite elbows if you wish. Or just take the back of the hands to the floor as you draw more weight into the balls of the feet. As you begin to fire those hamstrings. Face is soft. And coming onto your finger pads, let's just make some painting the floor with our fingers, adding a little more movement as we begin to walk our hands forward now, finding our way into our high plank, shoulders over our wrist creases, open up those collarbones, lift that back body, and then we'll walk our hands back towards our toes. Find that forward fold, shake out that head, and then again, just walk those hands forward into our high plank. Look straight ahead, lift that back body. Beautiful. We'll walk those hands back towards our toes. Pause and breathe at the back of the mat. 1 more time. Walk those hands forward into your high plank. We'll allow those knees to come to the mat, untuck those toes, use your body weight to come all the way down to the floor, elbows bend. Let's take that left ear to the mat. And on an inhale, we lift from the back of our heart. We find that baby cobra. And we'll take that right ear down. Moving with our breath, we find baby cobra. Maybe lift a little higher, relax those shoulders, left ear to the floor. Let's take one more. We lift from the back of our heart, squeeze those elbows in, beautiful. We take that right ear down, come back to neutral, tuck those toes under, press your hands and the tops of the feet to the earth through our high plank into our downward dog. Pedal out those feet. We shake out that head. Extend that right leg up towards the sky. Let's bend the knee, stack that hip, flex the right foot, root through the hands. Now the right leg extends, find your crescent lunge. So come all the way up, take your time, arms in line with your ears, and we'll just cactus those hands out to the side. So look straight ahead, and we'll find a slight back bend. Arms extend, we'll take those hands to the floor, right leg back, pause for a beat in that high plank, and we'll just lift into our downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat, shake out that head. So our left leg extends, we bend that knee, stack that left hip on top of the right, flex the left foot, lift that left knee a little higher. Now extend that right leg, step it forward into our crescent lunge. So take your time, you can drop the right knee if you wish. Those arms line up with your ears. Track that left knee over the left ankle, and then we'll cactus those hands out to the side. So we're looking straight ahead, and we'll take a slight back bend. Feeling that stretch in your right hip flexor. Extend the arms back up towards the sky. Beautiful. Hands to the floor, that left leg back. We pause for a beat in the high plank. Now option to take low plank or drop your knees. That baby cobra, maybe an upward dog. We'll meet a downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Just pedal out your feet. And we'll extend that right leg up towards the sky. We bend the knee, we stack the hips. The right leg extends, we find that crescent lunge again. Take your time, straightening through that left leg. So we'll cactus those hands out towards the side. Big breath in. Now we'll open up into warrior two. So really extend lines of energy up through your fingertips as we sit a little deeper. We'll turn that right palm up towards the sky and reverse. So take a gaze at the outer edge of that left foot. Right hand is up and over. Deepening into that right knee. And we'll find our way back into warrior two. Hands to the frame of the front foot, then take them to the floor. Right leg back, pause for a beat here in high plank to low. Cobra or up dog, downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack the hips. That left leg extends. Now step it forward, find your crescent lunge. We come all the way up as we cactus those hands out to the side again. So elbows are in line with your shoulders, spread the fingers wide. Now extend the arms as we open into warrior two. So take a look at that left knee, make sure it's opening towards that left pinky toe. Lines of energy out through the fingertips as we turn that left palm high and reverse. So taking a gaze at the outer edge of that right foot. Can you deepen in that left knee? Fan the left ribs wide as we find our way back into warrior two. Now frame that front foot, high plank to low plank, baby cobra or upward dog, downward dog, soft eye gaze. Back of the neck lengthens. Just pedal out your feet here. And we'll pause in stillness for a few breaths. So actively engaging those heels to the mat. Soften those knees a little bit. Back of the neck lengthens. You're gazing at the back edge of your mat or maybe towards your belly button. Hollowing the armpits. Let's shake out the head. And we'll extend that right leg back up towards the sky. So just adding on to the sequence, we bend the right knee, stacking the hips, that right leg extends, we step it forward into our crescent lunge. Extend those arms up in line with your ears as we open, cactus those hands. On an inhale, we extend as we blossom open into our warrior two. Our right palm high. Let's reverse our warrior here. Back through warrior two, forearm on thigh, left arm up and over. So moving between those positions, we find our way into warrior two. Keep the lower body where it is. We open as we reverse our warrior. Back through warrior two. Beautiful. Forearm on the thigh, left arm up and over. Let's cycle through this 2 more times. Take your time, expanding, finding your way back into two, forearm on thigh, left arm up and over. So one more cycle here. We'll reverse our warrior. Take your time as we find our way into warrior two, forearm on thigh, left arm up and over. Back into warrior two. Now framing your front foot with your hands, high plank to our low plank. Cobra or up dog. Open up those collarbones. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. So just pedal out your heels here. Shake out that head. We'll find the other side. So the left leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack the hips. Please extend that left leg, giant step forward, move from your core as you extend those arms all the way up from our crescent lunge. Cactus those hands, extend as we open into warrior two. So our shoulders relax, we take that left palm up towards the sky, reverse into our warrior, back into warrior two. Now forearm on thigh, right arm up and over, pinky side of your palm towards the earth. Moving between those postures from warrior two, we inhale, reverse, back into warrior two, forearm on thigh, right arm up and over. Let's take that 2 more times. Move with your breath, take your time, opening up the side body, back through warrior two, forearm on thigh, maybe taking the hand on the inside of the foot. 1 more time from warrior two, we reverse, finding that breath, forearm on thigh, right arm up and over, relax those toes, back into warrior two. Now framing that front foot with your hands, high plank to low. Beautiful, a cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Soft eye gaze, let's pedal out those feet. Shake out that head. Just enjoying that breath. Let's deepen our breath. Take 1 more inhale. Let it go completely. Deep bend in the knees. Look straight ahead. Walk, hop, maybe fly to the top. We find that halfway lift. Uttanasana into our chair pose. Extend those lines of energy. Squeeze those knees together. Lift those arms a little higher. Gorgeous. Hands through heart center as we fold. Crown of the head towards the mat. Shake out that head. We find that halfway lift. With control, high to low, step back or shoot those legs back, high to low. Cobra or upward dog, downward dog. Soft eye gaze at the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts again. We bend the knees, stack those hips. Extend as we take a giant step forward back into that crescent lunge. Come all the way up. Take those hands out As we cactus those hands, again, extend those arms. We'll open into warrior two. Pause here. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Extend, straighten that right leg into our triangle. So reaching forward, release the hand, use a brick, fingers to the floor, left hand up towards the sky. So spread the fingers and just take your gaze towards that right foot. So taking the tension out of the head or neck, finding that breath. Let's take 2 more breaths here. We'll take a final full inhale. Let it go. Inhale, come back into warrior two. Deep bend in that right knee. We'll straighten that right leg, turn the toes in, find warrior two on the other side. So deepening in that left knee. Make sure the hips and our chest are towards the side of your mat. Lines of energy out through your fingertips. Sit a little deeper. Now we'll lengthen, we'll straighten that left leg, bump the hips back, reach the left fingers forward, then release it, use a brick, or take the fingers towards the shin, the outer side of the foot, right arm up towards the sky, and again, just gaze towards the left foot. Avoid putting too much pressure. You should be able to move that hand freely. Find that breath. Take another inhale. Let it go. On an inhale, find your way back into warrior two. You'll frame your hands with that front foot. Left leg back, high plank to low. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Soft eye gaze, shake out that head. And just take those big toes towards the center of your mat. The right leg extends. We bend the right knee. Draw that right knee up towards the sky. As we find our wild thing, that right foot comes to the floor. That left leg extends, right arm up and over. So feeling that left foot as it connects with the earth, we lift our heart, let that head be nice and loose, and we'll take that right hand to the floor. Just find your way back into downward dog. We'll pedal out those feet and take those big toes into that center plane again. Now the left leg lifts, we bend the knee, stack those hips, stay here, or find your wild thing. That left foot comes to the floor, left knee bends, right leg extends, take the left arm, opposite arm up and over. Let the head be loose. Feel that connection with that right foot. Can you lift the front body a little higher? One more breath in. On an exhale, that left hand comes to the floor. Just find your way into downward dog. Pedal out the feet, shake out that head. We'll inhale to high plank to low. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Soften those knees a little bit. Engage those heels to the floor. Please take one more breath in. Let's let it go completely. Look forward, bend the knees, step, maybe fly to the top, halfway lift. Uttanasana into our chair. Extend those lines of energy. I'll move away from the plant. Lift those arms a little higher into our drinking bird. So our hands come behind, palms towards the floor. Lift those heels, squeeze those knees. Look straight ahead. Hold for 3, 2, on 1. Heels down, arms extend, and we'll take one more. Arms behind you, palms towards the earth. Lift those heels, look straight ahead. Balance on the balls of your feet. For 3, for 2, on 1, heels down, extend those arms as we gather our prayer to our heart center, beautiful. We lift and we twist to the right. Take that left elbow outside the knee, those elbows in one plane, and just take a look at those toes again. Spread them wide. We'll shift that gaze back towards the side of our mat as we expand. Use that leverage of the left elbow. Spread the fingers wide. Moving from our core, we'll gather that prayer back towards our heart as we find our way back into our chair. Extend lines of energy out through the fingertips. Let's lift those arms a little higher. Here we go. We'll take our prayer back to our heart. We lift and twist. So right elbow outside the left knee. Take a look at those toes. Spread them wide. Now shifting your gaze back towards the side of the mat. Expand, left hand high, right fingers to the floor. Feel that gentle twist. Those knees are still squeezing in towards one another. We'll invite that prayer back to our heart center. One last time, we'll find our way back into our chair as we bring our prayer to our heart and we fold. So split those feet hips distance. Soften those knees. Just allow those palms to come towards the floor. Maybe it's your finger pads. You can always use a brick. Just fold forward. Breathe on that back body. Shake out that head. 2 more breaths. One more inhale. Let's let that go. Finding those peace fingers on your toes, find that halfway lift as we lengthen through the spine. Now we bend those elbows, crown of the head towards the floor. Taking more weight into the balls of the feet. Noticing how you fire those hamstrings the more you come into the balls of the feet. So play that edge. Still breathing in and out through the nose. Let's take one more breath here. Complete that exhalation. We find that halfway lift. Now sliding those hands underneath your feet, toes towards the wrist creases. Maybe give them a little bit of a massage. The palms of your hands, halfway lift. Elbows bend, crown of the head towards the floor. Shake out that head. More weight into the balls of the feet. So you straighten the back of your legs, you play your edge, keeping the knees as bent as needed. Honor where you are this morning. We take one more inhale. Let's let it go. Let's release our hands. We'll open our feet in that 45-degree angle as we just find our way into a gentle squat, malasana. Hands come to our heart center. Maybe shift the weight from foot to foot. Feel the connection of the palms. Let's take that right hand to the inside of our right foot. The left arm extends. You stopped breathing. You're working hard.
I am breathing.
Okay. He's breathing. Now we'll take that left hand on the inside of that left foot. Right arm extends. Maybe wiggle those fingers. Let's take our right hand to the floor. So both hands are to the floor. We're just going to straighten through our legs. They're still on a 45-degree angle. We'll bend those knees again, come back into our squat. Hands come to our heart center. So just a more gentle transition to straightening those legs. So hands to the floor again. Just lift the sits bones, shake out that head. And one more time, we'll find our way into our squat. Hands come to our hearts. Lift the sternum. And we'll take the hands one last time to the floor. Let's straighten those legs, spin those feet forward, and we'll just find our way into our child's pose. So knees out to the edge of the mat, untuck the toes, hips are heavy. Extend, let's walk those hands forward, forehead to the mat, maybe chin towards the floor. So just notice what's working for you this morning. Opening up the tops of the feet, feel those toenails. Maybe the shins connect to the floor, the knees, your sternum, chin, maybe top of the forehead. And finally, feeling the palms all the way out to the finger pads. We'll take one more breath in. Let's let that go. Slowly transition onto your hands and knees. We're going to tuck our toes under. We're going to hover those knees off the mat and walk your toes a little closer in. So you're in this beast position. Navel is engaged. For 3, 2, on 1, find your way into a downward dog, a shorter downward dog. We'll walk our hands back towards our toes and unwind the spine. Take your time. Our tail tucks under. Extend lines of energy up. We'll split our feet hips distance. Take that right hand on your left wrist as we come up and over. Relax the jaw. We'll come back to neutral. Left hand on the right wrist. We lift up and over. Coming back to neutral. Just release the hands, straighten those legs. Samastitihi, hands at your heart center. Pause and breathe. Spread the toes. As we flutter the eyelids open, we'll take a bend in that right knee. Open up that ankle. We'll twist in the opposite direction. Now taking that left hand on your left hip, we'll lubricate that hip joint. So right hand is on your right knee, and we'll just open up that knee to the side, and we'll take it back to center. So 4 or 5 times, just opening that knee, feeling that mobility, working on our balance, look straight ahead. And when you finally take that knee one more time over to the side, let's just find our way into our tree. Hands come to our heart. Open up those collarbones. And we'll lift our prayer. Maybe split those hands. And eyes up towards the sky. Throat is soft. We'll take our palms back overhead, slowly lower our hands back to our heart center. We'll take that knee to the front of us and just unhinge. Arms back up towards the sky. We'll pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, we bend the right knee. Take your hands to your heart center into Virabhadrasana 3. So taking flight here. Look straight ahead. That's it, beautiful, Stacy. Use that core. So we'll bend that right knee, take the arms up overhead. Again, we'll unhinge that knee and pulse. 5, 4, try not to lean back. 3, 2, 1. That right knee bends. We find Virabhadrasana 3 again. So maybe take your hands forward this time. I think I saw a Max run towards the space. Maybe We take them out towards the side.
We're swimming, I'm swimming back here.
Oh, Bill is swimming. Let's swim the arms. Just trying something different, working on our balance. So we're gonna take that one more time. So the right knee's gonna bend, extend the arms, unhinge. We'll pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, we'll find our figure 4. So that right ankle on our left thigh, bring your prayer to your heart center. We'll take that slight bend in the left knee. Those elbows hover. You can take the hands to the floor, find the balance. Or as we sit tall, we drop those hips. Look straight ahead unless you're folding forward. That right foot flexes. One more breath in. We let that go. Press the left foot to the floor. We straighten, lift the heart. We'll just take that right foot to the floor. Let's shake out that extra energy. And we'll come to the other side. So begin by lifting that left knee. That right hand comes on your right hip, left hand on your knee, and we just open up that hip to the side. So we're lubricating the joint. Finding our balance. You can use the support of the wall, whatever's available. So when you take that last opening, that left knee to the side, take that left foot in the inside of the right thigh as we find our way into our tree position. Heart lifts. Again, bringing that prayer up. You can split those hands. Lifting your eyes up towards the sky. Imagining those roots from the right foot drawing all the way to the core of the earth, making you stable. And we'll bring our prayer back to our heart. Take that left knee forward. Arms extend again as we unhinge, flex the foot, and we pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, we bend the left knee. We find our Vera 3. So take the arms out to the side. Let's take flight. Lift the chest, toes towards the floor. One more breath here, we're breathing. We'll bend that left knee, extend the arms, unhinge, and we pulse. Move from the core. 4, 3, 2, on 1, that left knee bends again. We pitch our heart forward, finding Virabhadrasana 3, and we'll swim this time. Take your arms back. One of our goals this year is to spend more time swimming.
This doesn't count.
This doesn't count, but actually in the pool. So finish that last stroke. We'll take one more time. We lift that left knee, and we'll just cross it over that right thigh. Flex the foot. We'll bring our prayer to our heart. From stability, begin to soften that right knee. Slight bend in that right knee. You can hinge forward, find the support with your fingers on the floor. Or we melt those hips a little deeper, envisioning those elbows towards that bottom leg. And from stability with that right foot, it's rooted. We press into that foot, lengthen the body, left foot to the floor. Let's just release that extra energy out of our hands, and we'll step to the top of the mat. So we take a deep breath in, extend. As we forward fold, we find that halfway lift. With control, step or shoot those legs back, high to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. So the right leg is going to lift. We'll bend the knee, we'll stack the hips, extend the right leg, And we'll just take a giant step into lizard, right foot outside that right hand. Reach through that left heel. We'll just stay here for a breath, and we'll find our way back into downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat, maybe pedal out the feet. So other side, the left leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack the hips. As we extend the left leg, now we take a giant step into lizard lightly. Extend the right leg. So just melt into the hips, and we'll meet in downward dog. So again, now just take the right leg up, then we'll step into the lizard, melt into our downward dog. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, extend, and step that left foot forward into our lizard. Nice, melt into those hips, adding some mobility, some flexibility into our downward dog. So we'll just step that right foot forward into our lizard again. Now bend the left knee, untuck the toes, and find the knife's edge of that right foot. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders, or again, you're in charge of you. So maybe you find your forearms. We'll add a little light pressure inside the right side of the knee. Staying here, or option to bend that left knee. Take the right hand to the top of the foot as we draw that heel in. Spinning your chest up towards the sky. We'll gently release that left foot if you took a bend, and we'll walk that right foot across the mat. Woo! Yes, into our pigeon. So feeling those left toenails, left leg extends, walk the hands forward, or melt into those elbows. Forehead on top of your hands. So noticing where those shoulders are in space, allow them to draw away from your ears. Inviting that left hip point to the floor. Slow down the breath. Let's take 4 more breaths here. As we deepen the breath, keeping our awareness on the inhalation and the exhalation. Please take 1 more inhale. Let's let that go. Lift your heart, walk your hands back in towards the center of your body. We'll take weight into that right hip, finding our double pigeon or fire log. So I'll take my left knee on top of the right, or just stacking those ankles on top of the thigh like we did in figure 4. So what's working for you this morning? Find those sits bones. We'll extend the arms up overhead. Let's take a bend in that right elbow. Those floating ribs blossom out, so draw them back, move from that deep core connection. Big breath in. You can hinge from your hips. Feeling that stretch in the lower back, those hips. 1 more breath in. We complete that exhalation. Inhale, we lift. Release the hands to the floor. We'll unwrap our legs, and what do you know? We're right in our boat pose. So let's start supporting the first one, taking the shins parallel, support with the hands, maybe release, and maybe take those feet up towards the sky. Finding that breath. For 3, 2, on 1, cross those ankles, hands by your hips. We lift, cycle through your vinyasa, or we'll just meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Our left leg's going to lift. We take that giant step into our lizard. As the right knee comes down, we untuck the toes. Make sure those hands are underneath your shoulders as we find the outer edge of that left foot. So move slowly and go a little further. Maybe take those forearms to the earth if that's available. I'm going to use some light pressure on the inside of that left knee. Finding that breath. Staying here or taking a bend in that right knee, left hand to the top of the foot. We draw that heel in as we spin the chest up towards the sky. Feeling that gorgeous stretch in the quadricep, that hip flexor. With control, we release. Some shaking this morning on my side, and we'll find our way into pigeon. So just walk that left foot across your mat. Right leg extends. Feel those toenails as you walk your hands forward, settling into your pigeon. Melt the heart. Take the shoulders out of the posture. In that correlation to our jaws, to our hips, soften the jaw. I notice whenever I go in this posture, my jaw begins to clench. So relax the face. Send the breath to the outer left hip. Finding that smooth, rhythmic breathing. As the body softens, that's where we find the openings. We're unpeeling all of those habits, those emotions that we put on our body from that challenging conversation, that bad nights of poor nights of sleep. So we're just unraveling to get back to that Buddha nature, that Buddha form. Take another breath here. We let that go and we lift our heart, walk your hands back towards the center, weight into that left hip. We find fire log or that double pigeon, right knee on top of left. Find both sits bones. Support your hands so you find that equalness in the body and extend the arms up overhead. This time the opposite elbow, that left elbow bends. We draw those floating ribs back into the body. And maybe pitch your heart forward. It really fires open those hips. Breathing in and out through the nose. Take another inhale. Let that go. Lift your heart on an inhale. We'll release the hands to the floor. Uncross those legs. And now we'll take our fingers towards our back body, hug those knees in, then push those legs away. So I like to support my back here. You can take your hands at your heart. We squeeze in and extend. Let's take 8 more. We're still breathing. Last 5. Push everything away. 4, squeeze, move from the core, then you push. Last 2, and 1, push away, take the feet flat on the floor, find those sits bones, and let's just round over, finding your wrists, maybe your elbows. Take your forehead to the tops of your knees, soften the toes, allow the shoulders to draw away from your ears. Breathe into that back body. We'll lift our head and we'll find our way into a straddle. Flex the feet. So support your hands. Where are you going?
Right back.
Support your hands. Was it something I said?
Nature calling.
And we're going to swim with our hands against our legs. So the right hand's going to come towards the left toes, and we'll just come back to center. So really firing up our brain here, just moving the opposite hand to the leg. Last 3. Last 2. And one more swim on each side. Nice. Finding those sits bones again. Maybe you have a little more mobility to open up those legs. I like to find that internal focus. We'll take those hands forward, relax your face, and just walk forward. So you find that resistance. Allow the body to soften. Maybe you find your forearms. Breathing into those inner groins. Notice if there's some shaking. We'll take a walk to the left leg. You can frame that leg. Reach for the big toe. Bend that elbow. Stay supported or take the arm up and over. Such a good stretch. We'll walk our way to the opposite side. Take your time. Interlacing the fingers on that big toe. Maybe take that right elbow in. Stay supported here or extend up and over. We'll come back to center. Take your hands outside those legs. Let's zip those feet together. And we'll take a half virasana here. So the left knee bends. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Honoring where that knee is. Stay supported here. Or take your hands behind you. Moving slowly. So for many of us, we don't have to go very far. Very limited movement before we find some strong sensations in the quadricep. Being very cautious, very mindful of your knee. We'll just come back. Just carefully unhinge the leg. Let that circulation flush back down to the leg. Maybe shake it out. And we'll come to the other side. So again, if you have tender knees, just come onto your back body. We'll do that figure 4 on the floor. So stay here. Notice if this side is easier. Maybe it's more difficult. I'm going to go a little further for some sensations. Bill is using a brick, so honor where you are. Notice where you're feeling the opening. So slowly come back to center. Gently unhinge that knee. Extend the legs. And we'll do a double virasana, hero's pose. So coming on to your hands and knees, I bring my forehead to the floor. My feet are hips distance apart, and I just imagine I iron my muscles out of the way so I can sit on a brick or in between my heels. I see Max running around. And again, this may be enough for you. You stay right here. I have a little more mobility this morning, so I'll come down to my forearms. I'm going to stay right here, breathing into those knees, the quadriceps, opening up the tops of the feet, the calves. Let's take 2 more breaths. Relax your face. One more inhale. We let it go. And very carefully, very slowly, I'm going to take my hands in front of me and just extend the legs. Feeling that flush of blood from the kneecap all the way down. Nice. We'll cross our ankles, extend those legs out in front of us for our forward fold. So flex those feet. Big breath in. As we find our Paschimottanasana, I soften those knees. I find my ankles or my heels, surrendering, chest towards the thighs. Soften those shoulders away from your ears. Two more breaths. Final full inhale. Let's let that go, lift our heart. We'll take the soles of our feet together, just two more postures, finding more of a diamond shape. Here, we zip those feet up, extend the arms, and I'll just take my hands on my ankles. You can bend those elbows towards the knees. Maybe round over. We'll lift our heart, coming onto our back body. We'll find our happy baby this morning. So finding the inner arches of the feet, those knees draw towards the earth, soften those inner groins, and gently rock on that back body. Relax your face. We'll extend through that left heel. And that right heel into that straddle. And then taking your hands outside those ankles, draw the soles of our feet together. And gently extend those legs, palms up towards the sky, into our Shavasana. Gently rock your head side to side. On that next inhale, extend the arms up overhead. Just gently side out. And windshield wiper those feet in and out. And just wiggle your fingers as you invite your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big morning squeeze. Your knees are drawing in towards your chest. And just draw your forehead towards your knees. Just lengthen out, stretch out that neck one more time. As we take the head and shoulders to the floor, just allow those knees to fall to either side of the mat. As you curl up into that beautiful ball. I'm going to stay here, or we'll find our way to a comfortable seat. Our eyes soft or closed. Hands resting on top of your thighs. Beautiful tall spine. As we take our hands to our heart center, just acknowledging our practice this morning, having gratitude for this body that takes us throughout the day. Just thanking all of you for joining us this morning. So the light within me honors and recognizes the light within you. Make it a beautiful day, and namaste. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the music, Bug.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. Thanks, everyone.
Love meeting Max. Nice to see Nikki and Stacy. Thank you all.